We are live. Believe Nation. We're Minecrafting, taking questions. Happy Monday. Back at it. Back in the saddle. What am I doing here? Oh, we're mining for netherite again. Okay, perfect. Oleg in the house. Hey, Oleg. Happy Monday, man. How you doing? He's ready. He's the first one in. Okay, Oleg's got a question. Where would you start when trying to learn a new skill, like a language, programming language, marketing, etc., from complete scratch? Okay, so this stuff, I always stress out a little bit on this, to be honest, because when I'm at the beginning of learning something, I like to figure out where are the boundaries, like how much do I need to know? And I honestly procrastinate a little bit at the beginning because there's too much that I don't know, and I don't know how much I need to know. And that phase doesn't last too long. I know, for some people they never get started on learning because they procrastinate so much. But I look at what's something I learned recently. Crypto, for example. I wanted to learn more about crypto. It seemed overwhelming at the start because I knew nothing. And I didn't know where the lines were. Like, how much do I need to know right now? Like, what are the beginning basics to get me started? Right? So I often will procrastinate a little bit and stress out at the beginning a little bit before actually getting started on something. As soon as I can catch myself procrastinating or being afraid or coming up with some reason why I can't do it, then I immediately jump into action mode. And usually my first step is a video because I'm a visual learner. So I would encourage you to figure out, how do you learn best? I'm a visual learner, so again, go try to find videos. Here's a great example. Nina and I are, well, mostly me, and I'm teaching Nina as we go, but she's curious about learning. We're learning about debt structures, proper use of debt to build wealth. And traditionally, I've always been raised that, hey, debt is bad, but rich people use debt a lot of times, and it's a fantastic way to build your wealth. And so what did I do? I started watching a whole bunch of videos on it. And we just spent the last weekend at my parents' cottage, because it's Thanksgiving here in Canada, which is a holiday where you give thanks. And so we spent an hour and a half driving one way, an hour and a half driving the other way, and I loaded up a playlist of videos to watch that talked about the key concept that I wanted to learn about, which is called buy, borrow, die. That's the strategy that I want to learn on. So I got every video that I could find on YouTube about it. I loaded our playlist full, and as I drove, we had the videos on. We skipped some of them, we listened to some of them. We didn't get through the whole playlist, but once you start learning, you realize, oh, the basics are actually not that complicated. You start to get a sense of the language and the lingo and like what things mean, which allow you to play on the the next level, right? So it's not just absolute total beginner. And we have a good sense now. And that in that 3-hour car drive, we learned a lot. And it's funny how quickly you could learn if you want to, once you get out of your head that I can't pick this up, right? So we went from learning, knowing nothing about it, to not being experts, but being knowledgeable enough to be able to explain it to somebody else, which is good. That's a good starting point. So that's what I normally do. We start with procrastinating, and it's unintentional. It's just human nature. When you're afraid of something and you don't know something, you will default to procrastinate. You catch it, then you slip into action mode. And action mode should be based off of what is your preferred learning style. In my case, it's videos. And so then go and start watching channels or content around it. And then the next step is any videos that I liked how the person presented it, I'll go look at what else they have on their channel. And if there's enough similar themes on it, I will subscribe to the channel. Why is that important? It's because it starts to change your environment. Because now whenever I go to YouTube, I'll start seeing them in my subscription feed as well, and increase the likelihood that I will, click on another one of their videos to continue to educate myself. So that's the 3-step process. Step number 1, you're going to procrastinate, and you need to recognize that you're procrastinating, then push yourself into action mode. Step number 2 is, however you learn best, just start, and you get a sense of where the lines are and how much you need to know. So for me, it's video. And then step number 3 is try to create some kind of ongoing structure so that you continue to learn without having to think about it. So that if I subscribe to somebody's YouTube channel, it's going to automatically come and fill up my feed. And then I'm by default always going to have it on my mind, even though it's not a conscious decision every time. Because if you have to wait for you to be motivated or bring it into your conscious, you're less likely to stay consistent on it. Thanks for the question. That's a great start to the stream. What else we got? Ashish in the house. Crystal in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ashish says hello. Great to have you here. Crystal says, hi, Evan. I've been following you since I first heard you speak last year with James Mel. That's awesome. Thank you, Crystal. James is awesome. That was a fun event, helping business coaches, or I guess any kind of coach, launch their business. So cool. Thank you for being here. So much has shifted in my life since, including becoming a best-selling author. Hey, congrats. That's great news. How does a new author have the chance to go live with you on Instagram like Anthony did the other day and share a story? Typically, you only have celebrities speak with you and or your audience. It's either friends, like Anthony's a friend, right? So it's either friends or somebody who's really, there's a reason, right? So you're in my community for some reason. Right, and so like, oh yeah, I love her. She should come on. She should totally come on, right? So, look, what's happening this week? I have Mel Robbins on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. We're gonna have Gary Vee on next month, and yeah, Anthony's been on. We're gonna have Dave Hollis on. All of these people are people who I've worked with in some capacity. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say like Gary Vee's my best friend, right? But we've worked together, man, for I don't know how many years on different projects over the history. So that's typically how it works. It's like, hey, you're somebody who is, if you're trying to get on bigger shows, right? You're somebody who's known to that person or that community, or they love you because of some other reason, right? Like you're deeply involved in their community. That's usually the process. Ashish, how has 75 Hard impacted you? What are the positives? The positives is just again, a constant reminder that I do difficult things, and that scheduling is massively important. And I think every time you come against, really, 75 Hard is an exercise in mental toughness, right? So here's an example today. So part of 75 Hard is you have to work out twice a day, right? 45 minutes, can't be combined. You can't do like an hour and a half and call that 2 times 45 minutes. You have to do 45 minutes, separate workouts that are hours apart. So at least a couple hours apart, and one of them has to be outside, right? So that's the hardest part for me. Like the water, this is already gone. 1 gallon of water is gone. Diet, no cheat days, that sucks, but the diet's been pretty dialed in. That's not a big deal. I don't drink alcohol, so that's super easy. What else is there? Read 10 pages of a book a night, easy, right? I mean, I do that anyway. So a lot of the stuff is not, if I was younger or didn't have as many habits and routines dialed in, would have been really difficult. But the workout one is tough because my workouts haven't been every single day. Even when I was working out, it wasn't every day, and let alone twice a day. Okay, so this morning I wake up and I thought, okay, you know what? I'm gonna get my first workout in. So first thing I do almost is workout. Perfect. And then I realized, and I did that workout, inside in my building, in my condo. Then what happens is tonight I realized that at 9 o'clock we've booked a trainer to help us. So Nina and I are both going to be doing a virtual Zoom training with a trainer. Like, oh, okay, cool. So it on my calendar, and then I realized, oh, wait, no, I haven't done anything outside, because with the trainer is Zoom, so I have to be inside on the computer. And this morning's was already inside and done. So then I had to do a third workout outside in the middle of the afternoon. No, I had to do a third workout today. That was the first time I made that mistake. Every other time I've been only doing 2 and got the indoor-outdoor ratio down. But today I forgot, I messed it up, and so I had to do an extra workout. Those are kind of the reminders of Like, does it really matter? Is that extra workout really going to make me that much stronger or faster or whatever? No, but it's the mental toughness. It's the, I said I was going to do this. Now it's hard. I'm a big believer that your goals don't count until they're hard, right? There's a lot of problems coming for you, and your goals need to be big. And if you buckle and quit every time your goals get hard, you're never going to do anything great. So your goals don't count until they're hard, right? So this is just another chance to show myself that I do hard things. There's been a couple moments. You know, most days are relatively, it's just okay. You just have to schedule it and you're fine. It's when you fall off the schedule that it bites you. Just like life. You know, I had one day where I didn't start drinking. I just forgot about the water. And I had over half a gallon to drink at night. And I did it because I said I was going to do it. But I was so bloated. My stomach hurt so much. I couldn't focus on anything. It gave me gas. And then I was up all night peeing. You know? So was that a smart decision? No. Was that a healthy decision? No. But for my identity, for my mindset, to teach myself that I follow through on difficult things, it's everything. So that's the biggest thing that you get by taking on a 75 hard challenge or any kind of those challenges where you're forced to do things that are uncomfortable for you. And then when it gets difficult and that voice inside your head tells you, just stop, like this is stupid, right? It's stupid. Why would I drink all this water so late at night? It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And then you cave and you listen to that voice. That's the problem. That's why you're not hitting your goals, because you listen to that voice instead of doing the thing you should be doing, right? So the short-term win, yes, you know, is it smart to drink all that water at night? No, it's a short-term win, but it's a long-term loss because you're teaching yourself that you can't follow through. So that's the biggest advantage from 75 hard. Like when it comes to learning a new skill, how do you know when you should finally move to another stage or section of your curriculum or wait and stabilize the gained knowledge? That is more of a feel thing. Honestly, it's wherever you feel more interested in, that's what you go and follow and do. Because both ways can work. This is like, think about everything you learned in school. How much of it do you remember now? Like nothing. Why? Because it wasn't interesting for you. So follow the thing that you're actually curious about. When you're curious about it, you're way more likely to remember it and to follow through. So understand that there's no right answer here, right? Like you don't lose if you decide that you want to learn something deeper, go crazy on that thing. And if you decide that you're bored of it and you want to learn something new, go for the new. Because if you're actually interested in it, I have a hard time saying that word. If you're actually interested, there we go, in it, you're going to remember it more. So that's what we're talking about, learning, right? Learning for the sake of memorizing is one thing, but learning for the sake of actually remembering it and applying it is something else. So don't overjudge yourself. Whatever you're curious about, whatever you feel like doing, that's what you should go off and do, because you're going to learn it so much better. When you're forced to learn something, it's not going to stick. That's why people hate school. Drew Hitchcock in the house. What's up, Drew? The UI is pretty trippy? What's the UI? What do you mean the UI is pretty trippy? I don't know what he's talking about. What are we talking about, Drew? What UI? What UI are we working? Ashish. I am only doing my job for money, basically. I do like the team I work with, and will quit soon because I have to give more time to my business. I'm working at least 15 hours per day, but the pay, it's hard to give away. Yeah, and you can get a great team anywhere. The thing to think about is, at least for me, is are you at the spot where you can afford to, like if you leave your job, are you out on the street? You know, do you have a runway to live with? Or how much do you need that money? You know? And if you still need the money, then can you take a part-time job? Can you keep working at that company for a few hours? Can you work at a different company where you get paid, but you actually like the work a little bit more, right? And if you are ready to go full-time into your business, then the pay you make from a job, if you play the game out, right? Like imagine where you're going to be in a couple years. You're going to be making way more money. You just make more money as an entrepreneur. Even if the top line revenue is smaller, right? Like even if your business makes less money than you would take in a salary, you end up making more money because of all the tax deductions and advantages you have as an entrepreneur. So if you play the game out, you're just thinking too short term, right? Like, okay, it pays you more now. The money's hard to give up now, but think about a sheesh in 5 years. And dude, why are you taking so long to get this thing going? Make sense? When would be the right time to quit? That's a personal question. For me, it would be when, because I'm pretty risk adverse. Even though I'm an entrepreneur, people think entrepreneurs you have to take a lot of risk. For me, it would be when I am making enough money to support my life. And the problem is, here's what probably happened, Ashish. When you got that job, you started upgrading your life. You started buying more things. You started taking on a bigger mortgage. You started eating out at fancier restaurants. Maybe you got a car. Like you started upgrading the expenses. And so this is where people get trapped, is that they continue to increase how much they spend as they make more. So you end up not actually having more because it's all going out the other door, right? Comes in the front, goes out the back almost right away. So I'd get really honest with how much money do I actually need? Like how much do I actually need to eat out? How much do I actually need this house or that house or this car or that? Like what do you actually need? And you'd be surprised by how little it actually is. And I would go to that. I want to make that in my business part-time, then I would quit my job and go full-time, because if I can make that amount part-time, imagine what I could do full-time. Oleg, if I'm learning Java, how do I know when it's time to go from one concept to another concept within the journey of learning Java, or learning anything for that matter? It's the same thing. There's so much you can do in Java. What do you want to do? Like the best way to learn Java is not just to follow a textbook and go line by line to try to figure out Java. It's to say, I want to accomplish X project. What do you want to use Java for? And then go figure out how to do that. Look at how I'm, learning Minecraft. I didn't know anything about Minecraft when I first started this thing. And then I get excited about building a project. How do I build X? Like, oh, to do that, I need to have a sugarcane farm. Okay, how do I build a sugarcane farm? Oh, to do that, I need to get, these redstone. Okay, how do I go get redstone? Right? And you work backwards because the goal is to build the thing. So what do you want to use Java for? Pick a project. Because if you're just learning from a textbook, you're going to forget all that stuff. You just will, because you're not interested in it. So what do you want to learn from Java? Right? And then let that guide you. And then you'll do it'll be fun to actually go and do the research and the learning. Make sense? Oh, I don't think I can get in there. Oh, we made it in there. Did we figure out what Joe was talking about with the UI? Okay, let's see. I ask myself that a lot, says Crystal. I did not mean from moving to one skill to another. I meant from moving one concept in the given skill. Yes, Oleg, I'm answering your question. Listen, I'm answering your question. One concept. All within Java. You want to figure out how to learn how to do something. I want to take on this project that I'm excited by in Java. And then go learn everything around it so you can build it. And if you don't like that thing anymore, move on. All within Java. Don't move to another skill unless you are bored of the skill or don't want to do it anymore. UI equals universal intelligence? It might. I'm sure for some people it is. Usually UI means user interface. So if you're using a software product, for example, how easy is it to understand? Like if you go to somebody's website, the UI would be, does it make sense to go, like, how do I buy? How do I buy this product? How do I contact this company? How do I figure out how to get my question answered? Like all of that is user interface stuff, UI. So usually in programming world, UI, I think that's what Drew means. I could be wrong, but in our circles, that's usually what UI means. Although I like universal intelligence. I guess it kind of, I think if you know AI, which is artificial intelligence, it's easy to jump to, okay, well, if AI is artificial intelligence and UI must be universal intelligence, but it might be, but it's usually not. Thanks, Evan. It does make sense. All right, cool. Crystal, I pretty much know that any physical manifestation of abundance is directly correlated with my inner abundance and paradigm. How do I work on seeing the physical abundance I feel? So when you feel something start to make, right? Like, how do you get out of your heart or out of your soul or wherever you would say that that feeling lives, and then out into actually creation mode? And a lot of times it doesn't make sense. Like, a lot of times what your heart would tell you to make, it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. There's no practical reason for me to do that. That's what you need to ignore. So when you're feeling that abundance, pay attention to what your body then is telling you to do. Maybe your body is telling you to, or your soul or your heart, or again, whatever word kind of feels best for you. Is it telling you to record a song? Is it telling you to call a friend? Is it telling you to reach out to somebody? Is it telling you to message a reporter? Like, what is it telling you to do? It's giving you instructions, but then what happens is the brain tells you why you can't do it. So I have, and it's still an ongoing process, but I really try to honor those flows when they come and do the thing even if it makes no sense. So, example, there was a guy yesterday who I messaged, who I haven't talked to this guy in a couple years. We were never really close. I mean, we were colleagues, I guess. I mean, entrepreneurs. We did some business together. I woke up, I was thinking about him for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I had a dream about him. I couldn't consciously tell you why I was thinking about this guy that I haven't spoken to in a couple of years, right? So then I sent him an email. If I mentally thought about it, like, well, this doesn't make any sense. What am I even going to say? Why would I message him? Why am I thinking about him? Like, if you try to dissect it, the flow doesn't make sense many times because you're operating on it's a different consciousness than one you can logically think through. So we try to understand that consciousness with our brain, which then doesn't make sense, which is then why we stop ourselves from doing the thing we should be doing. So instead, you listen to that instruction and go do the thing, even if it doesn't make sense, because you trust that the intuition is good and that the intent is positive, right? So that's the next step. You feel the abundance. Amazing. That's great. That's already ahead of most people. Now that you feel the abundance, what is your heart, your soul, your body, your chakra, your third eye, whatever, again, word makes sense. What is it calling you to do? And then trust that intuition and go take some action on it. And you do that, you'll lead to some amazing places. Does that make sense? How do you know so much, Evan? Did you like that answer? I don't know. I mean, you're asking me stuff that I've spent time on. If you ask me a bunch of stuff, I know nothing about most things. So thankfully, you're asking me questions that I've thought through or experienced. But ask me about cooking. I don't know. Most things. Horses, flowers. I know nothing about that stuff. Pranav in the house. Hey, Pranav. Hey, Evan. How are you? I'm feeling good, Pranav. It's a great start to the week. It's Thanksgiving here in Canada. We celebrate it a little earlier than our American friends. So, yeah, I'm feeling thankful. It's great to be here. Oleg, yes, but in Java you can't go in such a messy order. You should learn one thing before moving to another because it's all connected. No, that's not true. It's all connected, but you don't have to go in sequence. For sure, no. Nothing has to go in the sequence. Doesn't have to go in that sequence. You'll learn it. Like there's micro sequences, but there's no macro sequence. Like if you want to build, okay, I don't know Java, so I can't give an example there. But if I look at Minecraft here, right? If I want to build, if I want to go here, what am I doing right now? I'm trying to get netherite. I'm trying to get ancient debris, right? Okay, so to get ancient debris, to get netherite, I need ancient debris and gold. So I need to go find gold. I need to go find ancient debris. To get ancient debris, I need to go to the nether. To go to the nether, I need to then go down to Y14, and I need to get a whole bunch of pickaxes to be able to do it, right? So there's a sequence to. The goal is to get netherite, right? But there's a bunch of sequences that go into it. But it doesn't mean that that has to be the order. There's people who can play Minecraft who then never go get netherite. Inside any computer programming language, Java included, there are things that some people know that other people have no idea about. There are some basic level things that are the building blocks, right? Like in Minecraft, you have to break blocks. Everybody breaks blocks. Everybody does it. There's some building blocks, but it doesn't have to go in a certain order on a macro level, on a big scale. On a micro level, yes, if you want to accomplish X goal, the order and sequence will matter. But you start with the goal and then work backwards. That'll work for anything that you're trying to learn. Crystal says, yes, but you're so young. I'm 41, so still have lots of time ahead of me. But Crystal, honestly, how do I do this? Well, because I listen to that intuition a lot. I probably use intuition. If I was to use a word, intuition would be the one. Intuition or flow would be, or heart would be how I would say it. But soul, chakra, whatever, right? What word were you using? Manifestation, abundance, inner abundance, right? Like it's all. They're all sister words. They're all basically the same thing, right? So I've had the great fortune of having some experiences because I've listened to my intuition, and has led me down a lot of fun places where otherwise you just stay stuck, right? So in 41 years of living, I've experienced a whole bunch of things that otherwise a lot of other people don't, because they're too afraid to listen to their inner abundance, or they don't even have any inner abundance, right? That's a whole other thing. But that's not your issue. You got the inner abundance down. But Evan, oh, sorry. By the way, Evan, you have something to do with software. Do you know any programming language? No, I know enough to be dangerous, but I don't know how to program myself. My first company was a software company, so I know enough. And websites and programming, you know, HTML and PHP, that's programming, and there's database structures that go alongside it. So I can look at things and get a general sense of how they work. And I can understand how a database functions, and I can help troubleshoot. So for example, we're working on something right now, and it's not working. Like the problem, something that we're trying to build is not working. So I go to the database, and I was able to find the problem. Like, here's the problem. This is it right here. This is the problem. See, it's not here. But I don't know how to fix the problem. Like, I can't actually write the code to fix it, but I know enough to dissect it. Right? If that makes sense. So that's helpful. You know, that's a helpful skill. It's really just problem solving. And that's what you have to be good at as an entrepreneur, is just mostly problem solving. And also just feeling that you can figure it out. I think that's one of the things that holds a lot of people back, is you just don't think you'll figure it out. Where even if I don't know the answer, I feel like I will figure it out. And somebody was asking me about confidence before. How do you get confidence? Well, there's two levels of confidence, I think. One is from competence. So the more you do something, the more competent you get at it. And so the more you believe you can do it again. So, you know, tying your shoes. You didn't know how to do it when you were young. You were afraid that you weren't going to get it, you know, and then eventually you got it. And now you don't even think about it. If somebody said, can you tie your shoes? Like, what kind of question? Of course I can tie my shoes. Because you're so competent at it that you don't have to think about it anymore, right? That's a decent level of I mean, that's one type of confidence, and it's okay, but it always relies on you having done the thing to then get the level of confidence. Where the confidence that I'm trying to constantly instill in myself is, even if I don't have the answer, even if I don't know how to do the thing, that's competence, I will find the answer. So it's confidence in your ability to figure things out. So if you look at Crystal and what she's talking about, you know, she might get a vision for what she wants to do, and it doesn't make sense, but she's still going to go off and do it, hopefully. And the first step is just one small step of what could be an amazing journey or venture that she goes off on. If she just started her book and she became a best-selling author, that idea came from somewhere, right? I mean, the idea to become an author, the idea to write a book came, and there was probably some initial self-doubt and insecurities over, who am I to write a book, and is this the book that I want to write, and how do I get it out to the world, and all of these things. And writing the book is a big deal, but she figured it out, you know? So you don't have to have the whole thing figured out at the start. That's where most people go wrong, because you'll never have it all figured out at the start, because you don't have confidence because you don't have competence. But at the beginning, you don't have competence in anything, right? You're just getting started. How do you expect to have competence in something that you're just getting started on? No, where real confidence will come from, that allow you to do much bigger things, is being confident that you can figure things out. I don't know the answer, but I can find it, right? That was a cool little tangent. Ashish, do you believe in the art of manifestation and law of attraction? I don't. So I don't think about it, I guess, the way that most people think about it. So when I don't with purpose go and say, what is, like, I don't have a dream board. I don't have a vision board. I don't have a Ferrari on my wall or some dream home or something. I don't, because those for me are all the result of things, where what I'm really addicted to is the process of, right? So like that stuff comes when you're doing valuable things. The goal itself isn't the vacation or the car or the home. The goal is to be a person of value and have an impact, right? And to touch other lives. So I think because that's a little more, what does that look like? What does touching somebody's life look like? What does having an impact look like? Is it the YouTube gold button? Is it speaking on stage? Is like, I have a trouble with those kinds of things, because a lot of times the visual is the result, but it's not the result. I'm not chasing a result. I'm chasing the process, and I have not yet figured out how to visualize the process. That's probably the best I've ever articulated it. So I think we're channeling some Crystal here. So the way that I have leaned into it is, when I get an idea for something, I just say yes. You know, when I have an idea, it comes to me, I trust that the idea is good, and I trust that as long as it's of service to others, that it's a noble and worthy of some time being put into it. Why? Because I came up with it, and or was given to me, right? And great things come to me, right? It's just that firm belief. And then that leads me down the path of action. So that's how I'll end up. I think manifesting happens automatically. I think when you're serving and helping, and you're doing things that are bold and courageous, and you're living, trying to help others, I think manifestation happens automatically. And what I'm trying to do is listen to it, as opposed to think that I know how to guide it. I don't even know what I said, but that's guided. What I just said was just guided right there. Ask me to repeat it, I have no idea. I need to watch back what I just said. That's a perfect example. I have no idea what I said, but it felt genius. But that was guided. And so that's how I approach manifestation. How's that for an answer? Okay, Crystal, I understand. I just turned 26, and I have so much to learn. Yeah, listen, I just turned 41, and I still have so much to learn. But that's, the learning process never goes away. That's great. You don't want it to, right? You don't want to ever stop learning. When you stop learning, you start dying. So I hope that for the rest of my life, well, I know for the rest of my life there will always be something new to learn. I hope for the rest of my life I maintain my curiosity as well as the willingness to jump into the thing that I'm afraid to do and I'm worried about being judged on and I'm worried that I'm not good enough for. Just constantly hope I have the courage to keep doing those things. But yeah, learning forever. When I was living in Bali this year, that's cool. It was easier to listen to my intuition because it was so loud. I have to listen harder to hear it now that I'm back in the States. I hear you. Some environments, it's just environment. Some environments are better designed for it, but you can hone into that frequency again. You know, if you think about what made Bali so great, a lot of it you can replicate. Just with intention. From the habits, routines, like go down to the detail of if you want to get that vibe back, what tea are you going to make yourself in the morning? What activities are you going to do before you pick up your cell phone? What song are you going to listen to, or what breath work are you going to do, or what exercise or yoga or stretching, or like what are you going to do? What visualizations are you going to do? Get as specific as possible. What fragrance is going to be in the air? So it won't be exactly like Bali, but it can be a lot closer to what you want compared to just being reactionary. This is important, right? So when you were in Bali, you were reacting to the environment, which is great, and that led to a really positive cascading effect for you. But now you're back in the States, and what are you doing? You're reacting to the environment again, which is normal, and that's human nature. It's not a problem. But instead of just reacting to the environment, now let's design a better environment, habits, routines. So whatever makes you feel like this is the starting point. What's the word that you're after? You know, what was Bali for you? What did she say? She wrote, "Listen to my intuition," because it was so loud. Okay, so what would we call that? Was it calm? Was it serene? Was it wisdom? Like, what's the word that for you encapsulates why Bali was so great? Pristine, kind, like whatever, there's no right answer. Just if you could capture a vibe from Bali again, what would that vibe be? What's the emotion that you're going after? Inner peace. Okay, great. So Bali equals inner peace. Perfect. Now, how can you, if you had to apply inner peace to everything in your life, what would that look like? So if you had to start your day with a routine that led to inner peace, what would you do? Would you meditate? Would you call a loved one and say that you love them? Would you go do an act of kindness? Would you talk to your plants? Would you go barefoot outside? Like, there's no answer. It's just this is a very personal question. This is why we can't just copy somebody else's morning routine, because that's designed for them. That's their flow, and it could be close to you, but you need to customize it for you. So what would you need to do if you had that goal? Right now, we're gonna take this from reactionary to proaction, right? Or proaction. I don't think that's a word. Proactive. We're gonna be proactive instead of reactive. You wanted to bring in inner peace into your life consistently. What would you have to do? Who would you need to forgive? What music would you need to play? What does your environment look like, taste like, smell like, sound like? Right? You can keep applying that filter to your life. What clothes are you wearing? How soft are they? You know, like right down to the littlest detail, that you might be able to get even more inner peace than you did in Bali if you intentionally went after it. You got a lot of it in Bali because the environment was so perfectly set up, but there was still a reactionary result, where now if you are proactively going after it, you might even get more inner peace. It may not happen, tomorrow, but you can start making some big progress towards it. And what a goal. Like, imagine if you created a life for yourself where whenever you wanted to, you can get back to inner peace quickly. That's possible. It's definitely possible. I've never even considered that. Thank you so much. Life can be, even tomorrow, Like some good activity. Tomorrow, what could you do to bring a little more inner peace for yourself? And not what brings Oprah inner peace or The Rock inner peace or whoever inner peace. What brings you inner peace? It might be something stupid, right? Like be willing to stare nakedly at yourself and say, you know what brings me inner peace? You know, singing opera in my underwear on the balcony. Perfect. Right? Like as long as you're not doing something that's harming somebody else, then go for it. Do you. And when you have this is why the words are important, because you know the why now, where you might know before that singing opera, what did I say? Singing opera on your balcony naked or in your underwear. I don't know how we got to that. It was guided. You might know that feels good, but you don't know why, and you just think, wow, that's really crazy. Why do I like doing this thing? Well, because it gives you inner peace. And inner peace is important to you. So you're going to do it. What did I miss? Oh, like, I once tried to learn Java web development, but stopped. Now I'm considering learning a programming language or testing software. Okay. Yeah, just go for it. That's the thing. Like, just try and see. Give yourself permission to do more micro experiments, right? Like spend less time thinking about I'm considering doing it and spend more time just doing it, because you'll know pretty quickly. You know, like go just commit to spending 20 minutes doing it. What are you going to learn in 20 minutes? Nothing. But what's important is, do you feel the energy? Do you feel the flow? Do you feel the vibe to go and want to study more? And if yes, then great, then go study more. And if it feels like you're forcing yourself to do this, you know, like if Crystal's going to go do some inner peace work and she thinks that singing opera on the balcony in her underwear is going to be the thing that brings her inner peace, great, like go do it. Maybe that's the vision that comes to her, right? So you do it tomorrow morning. And if you do it and it just feels this is not inner peace, this is the opposite, then stop. You know, go do something else. Next experiment. Because a lot of this stuff you can't think your way through, right? You don't know if you're going to be a great programmer until you start doing it. Logically, you can always find a reason why it will work and why it won't work. Or at the end of the day, all that matters is you trying it and then seeing how does it make you feel. Even if you suck at the thing, how does it make you feel? Because if you love it, you can get great at it. With enough practice, repetition, skill, you can get great at it. Even if it doesn't make any sense on paper, because it's guided. Oh, we're getting lots of stuff here. Aman, hey Aman, sorry, I missed your question. Would you help me to tell me the name of somebody who I can ask for help and discuss with? Well, what do you need help with? That's always a starting point. You need help with what? If you tell me what you need help with, then maybe we can point you in the right direction. We'll do our best. I'm still waiting for the call from the video game company. It's been 5 days. All right, well, it's also weekend. So see. If you don't hear anything tomorrow, then follow up with them. Say, hey, it was so great working on the trial. I loved it. Looking forward to being able to do something with the company. Just following up to see what the latest is on the position. Yeah, that's an easy enough voicemail or email to send. Crystal says, I love this. All right, nice. Pranav, message retracted. Hey, Pranav, welcome aboard, man. Oh, like Evan, I will leave the live stream for now because I don't have a question that matters to me, and the one I cannot Google on my own. So have a nice evening. All right, Oleg. Hey, thanks for being the first one here, man. Always appreciate you. And good luck with the job, and keep us posted. Ashish, can you tell your experience interviewing Sadhguru? I've done it twice. One was in person, and one was over Zoom. The most recent one was over Zoom for his new book, Karma. The first one we talked at in Toronto, and it was great. So this is talk about flow, right? So he came, I forget when it was, but it was cold. I mean, it's Canada. It was cold, and he really wanted it to be outside. And we were talking to his team before. I was like, you know, like we're in Canada. It's cold. It's gonna be hard to do it outside. He's like, no, we really want it outside. and we want it to be by the water. Like, it's gonna be even colder by the water. Like, just so you know, right? He's like, yeah, we know. It's like, okay, cool. So, you know, I don't know where he came up with that idea. Maybe he just loves the water. Maybe he knows that he gets more energy from the water. I don't know why he picked the water, but it worked out great. And when you talk to Sadhguru, you got to think on two levels. Like, I guess when I'm doing an interview, I always think on two levels, because he's usually explaining something in an easy to understand way, but there's always a deeper message underneath it. And the two levels for me is that, one, I'm trying to figure out, how does this apply to my life, right? Like, what did he just say that applies to my life? But then how can I keep the conversation going so it's interesting for the audience as well? Because honestly, what I want to do is, after his answers, take 20 minutes to think about what he said and then ask a follow-up question. But, you know, when you do an interview, you don't have that time. So I mostly just try to get a quick understanding of what he said and then move on to the next question to keep the thing going. And you know, hopefully some insightful, at least for me, follow-up questions. And then I always have to go home and think about, what did he say? And you know, a lot of times, a week later, a month later, a year later, something he said, like, oh, you know what, that's what he meant, or that's like another level of what he meant. So yeah, it's been cool getting to know him, his team. Everybody's super friendly. I love the mission that they're on, and yeah, hopefully we'll do more in the future too. I didn't know who he was at the beginning. You know, I mean, somebody in my audience said, hey, can you do Sadhguru? And I didn't know who that was. So I've learned a lot in the process too. Oh, okay. Crystal, I never thought about that consistent inner peace would be my life goal, but it is better than any goal I have, even set besides using my gifts of writing and speaking to serve others. Well, here, what I would encourage you, Crystal, to think about is, it's not or, it's and. So inner peace is not a goal instead of other goals. It's just the core theme behind all your goals. So what I mean by that is, if you're writing, so your goal becomes, I want to write a book, right? Okay, so you wrote a book. The goal then becomes, well, I want to get the book out in people's hands, right? You know, you spend a lot of time on this. You want people to consume it. Okay, but ultimately, what's behind the book? Like, imagine if people read the book, or your next book, or your next project. It'd be a fun thing to take on, and say, well, my goal is to help spread inner peace. Like, inner peace becomes a core value. So you become in the inner peace business. You're in the inner peace business for yourself first, and then for others as well. And every time you learn something, you then share it. Because, wow, what a gift you can give to everybody else, to humanity, if other people had inner peace too, right? Wouldn't that be an amazing gift to be able to share? So you constantly go on your journey of, what's that me? What? Oh, where did this guy come from? You constantly go on your journey. It's funny, I'm inner peace talk while I'm killing that skeleton. You constantly go on your journey of inner peace, of learning, of testing, of trying, of tweaking, of experimentation. And every time you learn something, you then bring it back and help other people too. Everybody else who's out there struggling with their own version of inner peace. And when you figure something out, it speeds up the process for other people. They can get there faster because you did all the work to figure it out. If you're going to go on this adventure to, recreate Bali and some of the best moments from it, you can then teach other people how to do that a lot faster too. So you're really in the inner peace business. That's your message. That's your mantra. That's what you're trying to spread and share with the world. And every time you learn something, you go teach other people. But the goal then, there's the goal of you getting more inner peace, sure. But in the spreading of it, that can manifest in so many different ways. How do you spread inner peace? Well, you can write a book. Well, you can launch your meditation classes. Well, you can become a speaker. Well, you can become a coach. Well, like there's so many different things you can do, all with the hope of helping other people create more inner peace in their lives as well. Imagine, wow, what a world it would be to live in if people had just even a little bit more inner peace. Okay, I'm gonna let him kill me so I respawn. How's that? That was so great. All right, there we go. Glad I helped. I have to go to my last meeting for tonight, but you've given me so much in this time. I will share this with others. Thank you. Hopefully I can come back again. Oh, you are welcome anytime, Crystal. And I love getting the updates. So keep as you do your thing and you learn more, give us the updates on how it had an impact. That'd mean a lot. Ashish, I have to leave. Thank you. All right, bye, Ashish. Thanks for the love, man. We got what? 10 minutes left. Aman, I wrote above it. Aman, I don't see it, so it must be too high. But if you can post it again or go back up and copy paste. I look at all the arrows in me. Oh my gosh. I'd love to do my best to help you, man. Apologies, I didn't see it. Which one? This one. This one. This one. Those are empty. Okay, cool. Did I sell anything? Probably not, right? I don't think anybody's been on the server. Oh, wow. I sold a lot of glass. Look at that. Okay, we take that. We definitely take that. It's a lot of glass. We got here anything? Any sales? Any sales? Any sales? No sales. Any sales? Any sales? Nobody wants this stuff. I need to change up what I'm selling. A lot of supply, no demand. Look at this. I'm not selling anything in here. Okay, that's going, kinda. What else? Iron, name tags, nothing. I don't think the fish, anybody wants the fish. Okay, well, we made 40 diamonds. It's all off of glass, so we gotta go make some more glass. That's definitely a good plan. Okay, actually, let's check in quickly on Nina's stock. Oh, nothing there, okay. I definitely will. Good night. All right, good night, Crystal. Much love. Oh, wow, she totally cleared all her stuff out. Oh, there we go. Oh, the ink's going now. Nice. Okay, that's great. That makes me happy. Drew in the house. So you got netherite beacon yet? No. No, I do not have a netherite beacon. No. That's not... I mean, it could happen. I'd have to spend an insane amount of time. I don't know if I want to make that my goal at the moment, but maybe. Aman, would you help me? Tell me the name of someone who I could add. Aman, I answered that question. Aman, you said I didn't answer your question. I did answer it. You were not listening. You gotta go back. I answered that question. Aman was blaming me. Aman, we did cover that one. Okay, we put this here. We are waiting on Drew's roller coaster. I know we all want to see it. Drew's got a new roller coaster edition. He finished the roller coaster, but he's away right now. And I told him we weren't gonna go. We wouldn't go look at it until he's back, because his Wi-Fi where he's at is really bad. So, okay, let's drop some of this stuff off. This is still looking good. Okay. Oh wait, no, I need to drop it off. I need to drop it off in the chest, right? Okay, so I'll go down here. Perfect. There we go. This is my unloading system. Okay. My friends asked me to design a t-shirt out of my NFT art as merch. I tried to see how much they look, and they look like a brand even if they won't consider it as merch. I just felt excited to make it. Okay. Is there a question there? You're just sharing? Why is your inventor at the bottom doubled? Why is my inventor at the bottom doubled? I don't even know what he's talking about. Why is my inventor at the bottom doubled? I think he was probably talking about something that I saw on the screen. Sorry, Drew. I didn't pay attention to what was on the screen. Charming Fox in the house. Hey, Charming Fox. Jobs suck. You don't like jobs? Well, yeah. I'm not a. I mean, there's some jobs that are good, but a lot of people are in the wrong jobs, and a lot of bosses suck too. So, sorry, man. Okay, this goes here. Sounds like you had a rough day, man. Anything you wanna share with us? Share with the class? You should do this. Trying to remember what my usual order is here for this stuff. Okay, I got 5 minutes left. We gotta go make some ancient debris, netherite. Okay. Drew wrote back. Inventory. Inventory. Why is your inventory at the bottom doubled? Why is my inventory at the bottom doubled? I still don't know what he's talking about. On streams, it looks like you have 2 pickaxes. I do. I have lots of pickaxes. Is that what we're talking about? I'm confused. Drew, you're confusing me. I wish I had drive like you, fam, out here winning. You just need a goal, man. You need a worthy goal. Everybody can have drive. It's not that I'm any better than you. You just need to have a worthy goal. What's the goal? What are you trying to accomplish? You know? That's what makes a difference. If I had a job I hated every day, I wouldn't have a ton of drive. So, what's a goal you can get excited about? That's the next step. You know, that's what you got to figure out. Where are my other? Didn't I have other shulker boxes? I feel like I'm missing 2 shulker boxes. No? Did I make a mistake here? This is definitely not right. I don't see them. Did I leave them back there? I don't think so. Drew says no. Everything is doubled? Everything is doubled. Does it look like that on the stream? Oh, it does look like that on the stream. Wow, I don't even know how that happened. I totally should have played that up. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. Oh, I did leave these 2 here. Perfect. That's hilarious, Drew. Yeah, I don't have it. I mean, look, if I put if I take this away, I don't have like 8, right? That's so funny. I don't know, some glitch, some bug on the visuals. On my screen, I don't see double inventory. Well, of course, you're better than me. I'm not better than you, man. It's just having goals that excite you. And if you don't know what they are yet, then that becomes the first goal, is to go find some goals that excite you. That you could be in a totally different spot, man. You know? In a month, you could be in a totally different spot. If you just found something that you really enjoyed doing, that felt meaningful to you. That's it. That's why I like to feel your job sucks. It's just not meaningful to you. Aman, would you suggest me anybody who can help me sell? Sell? We've made a couple of videos. I would start there. We've made a bunch of videos on the channel about sales that I think you could be a good intro. And then from there, see whose message. Do you like Grant Cardone style? Do you like Jordan Belfort style? Like, there's a bunch of people who do the training. But then if you like them, they have their own courses and programs that you can go learn more about from as well. I sent your photo on Messenger. Yeah, I see it now, Drew. I see it. I don't know why. I don't know if that's always been there or not either, to be honest. But Sebastian in the house. I've been trying to work on my company. All right, Sebastian. I like it. Let's go. Our current job is temporary for school internship, but it's a glimpse of a bleak future. Yeah, well, there you go. Let's change the future. Let's instead of being resigned to it and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck here forever. Let's change it, man. You got lots of time to change it. That becomes a priority. Like, this is everything that I do not want out of life. That's what you remind yourself of. This is everything I do not want out of life, and I will not be here. This is not the life I want. It's great. That's some super big clarity, man. That'll help you. I just noticed that this stream, so it might have been when you updated the stream. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take away. Oh, we lost. It's 8 o'clock. Yeah, it doesn't take away from it, I guess. It's good to be here. All right, Sebastian. Well, listen, we got to run, but come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we are back. 7 p.m. Eastern. Come right on time. Get your questions in early. Looking forward to seeing everybody. Have a fantastic Canadian Thanksgiving, everybody. Continue to believe.